kind of take you, into a second loss or.
Well, yeah, I mean that's important. A lot of teams will let a loss bleed into two, but the good thing about this time of year is we're not in school because no classes, so like we didn't get back until about 2 o'clock in the morning. What is today? Friday. So when was that game? Wednesday. So Wednesday we got back at 2 o'clock in the morning. We came in and practiced yesterday afternoon, and got my point across about certain things I didn't think we were very good at. We had some guys that just completely no-showed. We addressed that. Success can be a double-edged sword sometimes. Sometimes you have kids that start thinking they're the reason why you're successful, and that's why you have to have a pulse of your team. That was a game that could have won. Never say should have. That's not the right way to put it. That's a game we could have won. First thing, you give Temple, Coach Dunphy, his team, a lot of credit. They outplayed us. But when my observations of the game and watching film and going through our defensive edit and our offensive rebound and edit, those are the things I was most disappointed in, and those are the things you can control. Can't control the ball going in. Can't control the referee and their calls, but you can control your effort, and that's the thing that disappointed me.
This team, all of last year, I know you don't compare teams, but they didn't lose back-to-back, I believe, all of last year. So you got a lot of these guys that have been through that, and I think Freon after a game mentioned this was a game that showed we're not invincible, and I think that's something you preach as well, that anybody can get beat at any time.
Well, he shouldn't have had to take a loss to figure out he's not invincible. There's only one invincible person that I've ever heard of. And that's God. So it doesn't apply. And not being invincible doesn't apply to us. No, I don't think about those things. I don't, and I never go back to what we've done. I live in the present. I think that's important that we all do that in our lives. What we're doing today has nothing to do with yesterday, or 20 years ago, or tomorrow. Today's a gift. Let's take advantage of today. We've got a game tomorrow night. We came in and watched film this morning. Coach Marshall, he's just a really good coach. I just watch his teams, and I watch film from their first. I just like to see where they've been. I watch a team their first 2 or 3 games in November, and then if you look at his last 2 games, you can tell how much better they've gotten. That's why records are irrelevant. Are you getting better or are you not? That's the thing that coaches focus on. The other stuff is just propaganda. But you can tell who they are. They do a great job of going the offensive boards. They play with great pace. They run their stuff well. They understand who their best players are, and Samaje Jones and McDuffie, and they play hard. There's just not a lot of difference in the teams in this league. It seems like just if you look today, it seems like the team that's playing the best is probably Central Florida. They were picked to win the league, by the way. And it's like people knew what they were talking about picking Central Florida to win the league. They're veteran. They got everybody back. They've had Aubrey Dawkins, so they're really good. But the teams like Wichita State, Tulsa, Memphis, Connecticut. You saw Tulsa and Cincinnati last night. What's the difference? There's just not a lot of difference in Houston, Cincinnati, Tulsa, Wichita State, Connecticut, Memphis. They're all good teams. If you don't come to play, I didn't say Temple. Temple we're all kind of in a group. I think all the other conferences are too. Kansas goes on the road, what happens? Nevada goes on the road, what happens? Ohio State goes on the road, what happens? There are no upsets on the road. That's why when you come home, you better take care of business.
Is that kind of why teams that have that hustle DNA in them learn to come back from these kind of matchups, because it's kind of built into them?
I think so. I think everybody, all the good programs, and there is a difference in being a good team versus a great program. The great programs are consistent. You know, like Wichita State has a great program. You focus on your kids and getting better. You know, there's nothing else really matters. You know, I mean, like their record is 7-7. I just got off a radio interview, and he said their record's 7-7. Doesn't matter. You know, their last 2 games had a chance to win them both. They're really young and they're getting better and better and better, and that's what we focus on. You know, Nate Hinton has to get more consistent. I said Allie's got to figure out how to be his best in his role. You know, Fabian White still trying to get in shape. He had a good stretch the other night, and boom, had to take him out because he's tired. This is still early November for him. You know, he missed July, August, September, October, and he missed November. I didn't see him on a basketball court from June 22nd to almost November 30th. So, you know, December, we're now first 10 days in January. He's nowhere, you know, a month from now, he's going to be a lot better. And I can say that with our young guys, Brady and Gresham, they're still improving. So I like our team, but the key to our team is just keep grinding, keep getting better in practice. Keep playing for each other, learning how we do things, and do them at with your best effort. Those are the things that are important to me.
Coach, did you have, or did Dejan have any problems after falling to the game on Wednesday?
Oh, you noticed that, huh? Yeah. No, he was sore. You know, he's you know, when some guys fall, there's a little bit of a reverberation. You know, there's a difference when Breon falls, for instance, and then when Dejan falls. And Breon's going to bounce up, and Dejan's going to be a lick, because there's usually bone on wood. But he spent most of the time yesterday in the trainer's room, but he'll be ready to go.
So I think after the game, you had mentioned the incident on the bench, how that never happened to you in terms of the tie, the check. Since you've done that forever, but is that something now you have to be mindful of, or is that just you chalk it up to one night, one crew, one moment?
Yeah. No. You know, there's a lot of things I'd like to say and bring to light about how that whole thing got going, and how that shifted to what you saw. But I'm going to focus on Wichita State.
You know, there's a push by your fan base to all wear ties tomorrow to the game.
Lauren was telling me about that.
They're looking for ways to support you. And
but you know, I've been taking my coat off since we played the University of Alberta in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada in 1982. Yeah, I've done that. I don't always take the tie off, you know, and I'm not going to take it off just because of some promotion. But I think the good thing about that is just the support from the fans. You know, I don't know. I just coached the game. You know, there was a call that I didn't agree with on Fabian on a jump shot, and it just came at a crucial time as the game at that point in time. But you know, the Wichita State game, it becomes really important because it's a home game. You know, you go on the road, there's no guarantees. You know, it's just good teams win at home, and I think we're a good team.
that Alberta game, Karen, so that's the first.